Mortgage rates are at their highest level in nearly a year, but that's not why some Lake Geneva homes are still sitting on the market. And while the headlines are focused on how the rates hit about 6.8%, they're missing the bigger story. And that's that higher rates haven't stopped buyers. They've changed which buyers are still in the market today. Right now, there's only really two groups of buyers. The first group, they have cash, they have equity and flexibility. The other group, they don't really, and they're really keeping an eye on how much their monthly payments are going to cost them. Both still want to buy a home, but only one group is consistently winning. But buyers overall are more resilient than headlines suggest. So one statistic that nobody's talking about is the mortgage price index. Now, mortgage rates are higher. Oil prices are higher. Economic uncertainty is also higher. Yet at a national level, mortgage price applications are tracking roughly where they were this time last year. And that's fascinating because if buyers are truly giving up, these applications would have collapsed, but they didn't. Pent-up demand didn't disappear. Buyer expectations simply went up. So buyers didn't become more scarce. They became more savvy. Walworth County has 336 active listings right now, but only 93 sold. At first glance, you might think, well, demand just weakened, but I don't think that's what's happening. Buyers are just rejecting homes before they even schedule a showing. They're evaluating the monthly payment, the taxes, insurance, roof age, mechanicals, future repairs, and they're no longer asking, can I buy this? They're asking, do I want everything that comes with owning that particular home in that particular condition at that price? And that's a completely different mindset. And honestly, it's a smarter one. Days on market. This is typically an indicator of buyer strength. But right now, it's not about strength. It's about standards. So the days on market increased again. In Walworth County from 46 to 49, totally normal right now. In Lake Geneva, it moved from 88 to 90, sustaining those high days. Now that doesn't automatically mean that demand has weakened. It's Lake Geneva. It means buyer standards have increased. They're waiting. Today's buyers are comparing more homes. They're recognizing value faster, and they're willing to wait if they don't find something that fits their needs and feels right to them. That's not weakness. It's discipline. So this is one of the more interesting stats, the median prices of homes. So the median sold price of homes in Walworth County is about $470,000. Meanwhile, the median list price of active homes available right now is about $550,000. That's a pretty big gap. Here's why that matters. Active listings show seller expectations, while sold listings show reality. Too many sellers price their homes based on their neighbors or Zillow or Hope. The market doesn't care. It only cares about what buyers and sellers actually agree on. You can paint it, stage it, landscape it, upgrade it. But in today's market, pricing is marketing. Home sellers today are still receiving some pretty strong offers. Most people assume because we have higher mortgage rates means that buyers are negotiating sellers down pretty hard, but they're not. And here's the statistics to prove it. The sold to list price ratio. Now that tells you how close homes are selling to their original asking price. In other words, it reflects the number of price reductions or how much sellers are discounting before a deal actually comes together. Now nationally, 1 out of every 3 homes are seeing price reductions by sellers. But here in Walworth County, it's different. Even with mortgage rates where they are right now, sellers are still receiving about 96.6% of their original asking price. That's pretty good. That's almost exactly where we were this time last year. Lake Geneva dipped to about 91, but you have to take into context that about only 29 listings sold, so that number is being really influenced by a small sample size, so I wouldn't read too much into that. But here's why that matters. Buyers aren't negotiating everything. They're negotiating selectively. If a home feels overpriced, they're simply moving on. If it feels like there's good value, they're writing strong offers. And that's another reason I keep saying pricing is marketing. I was chatting with a lender and we were talking about mortgage rates, and he said to me, well, this is nothing. I remember when mortgage rates were 18% before you were born. And well, he's right. 18% is higher than 6.8%, but that's only part of the story. Why? Because that was in 1981. The median cost of homes back then was $65 $300,000. Nationally, today, the median cost of homes are $400,000. That's the difference between a $1,300 versus a $3,000 monthly mortgage. And moreover, wages have not kept up with the price of homes since 1981. So just looking at mortgage rates misses the entire affordability picture. It's a massive gap in understanding. It's not just about one number, it's about the entire cost of ownership. And that's the conversation we need to be having. There are 3 things we need to be watching in the next couple of months in terms of residential real estate. The first is mortgage rates. If they stay elevated, the gap between cash buyers and payment-sensitive buyers will get even wider. The second is days on market. If they continue to climb, expect to see more price reductions. The third is the sold to list price ratio. This tells us whether sellers are beginning to lose their pricing and negotiating power. Correctly priced homes should continue to perform. Overpriced ones, you're going to continue to sit. Here's the real story about real estate in the Geneva Lakes area market. Buyer demographics are changing. Buyer demand still exists, and so does money. But buyers are making sellers earn that yes. And that's actually pretty healthy because today's market isn't divided by inventory, it's divided by affordability. If you're planning to move this year, understanding these market shifts will give you better options, better timing, and a better price. Very few people understand how it actually behaves. So make your next move legendary.